What's going on there, YouTube? It's been a while. I missed you guys. Did you miss me? By the way, I don't know if you could see it. Nah, you can't. Well, it's cold in New York City, so I don't know how many of these videos outside we're going to be doing. Again, Times Square Ball right there, up there. Kind of cool. All right, so it's been a while, huh? All right, let's get into it. Why do I like self-development? And I guess what's the journey? I'm about 10 years into self-development. All right. So I started when I was 20. Probably started when I was 20, and I read Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Dr. Susan Jeffers. Highly recommend that book. And obviously the amazing one by Dale Carnegie, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That changed my life, and I just reread it, and it is amazing. Amazing. The number one thing you can take just even out of this video is call people by their name. Call people by their name. If you're in negotiations, if you're asking someone out, if you want anything in life, call them by their name. Hey, what's up, Susan? Matthew. Awesome. Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll get you that price. In other words, I own a real estate company. I guess there's, self-development. All right. So there's a lot of things on my mind. Number one is look at who the teacher is. A lot of people someone will come out and say you're atheist, and someone will come out and they'll mention God and dismiss the entire person. And it's like, see if you can get something out of it. You don't need to get everything out of this. Like, I could post a video, you completely disagree with it, but that's one video. You may like all my other videos. It's the same thing with anyone. It's like, what you can't do is completely dismiss someone, say Tony Robbins, like he believes that there's a universe or a God or a being or I don't know, a source or power or higher power or whatever. I don't know, whatever the fucking word you want to put on it. I don't really care what word you put on it. But he believes that there's something that everything happens for a reason. In other words, that's really what it dials down to, is that nothing happens by chance. There's an amazing book that I just picked up. It's called Transurfing. So in other words, you're skipping ahead to your future self and living it in the present. And I got to tell you, it's going to change my life. There's someone that is very successful in New York City. He's a client. Obviously, I'm not going to say the name. And he brought it up, and he's 50, 60 million probably worth, maybe even more. And he attributes everything to this. In other words, you're living into your future self, like right now. Like if you are overweight and you want to lose weight, you think of yourself as an athlete right now. If you're an idiot, like I was in high school and college, brilliant thing is that Gary Vaynerchuk just came out with his grades. And he said something that I've said on the videos before he even said it. In other words, like we felt the same way, is that this is one thing that you have to take away in self-development, is that your current circumstances are not your future outcomes. Your current circumstances are not your future outcomes. I sucked at school. I was brutal. They wanted me out of school. They're like, get out of here. You're not good. I had a 81 average, pretty much C average in high school, and then a C minus in college, and almost didn't graduate both. It took me way too long to graduate college, and I thought because of that, because I wasn't getting good grades, and because people were smarter than me, that was going to be my outcome in life, that was going to be how much money I made, my financial, that was going to be all of my success with relationships, with my body, with my mind, spirituality, whatever. I thought everything was attributed to school. And now, because of the internet, and because of books and knowledge, Tai Lopez, because of all that, you now are able to take what's in the future, someone that's brilliant, like Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, say Gary Vaynerchuk, Richard Branson, all these people, and bring them into your life right now. You don't even have to read the books. You just watch a video at 2 times the speed and you soak it all in. So number one is, there's things that Tony Robbins says and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm just not going to do that. So number one is, don't dismiss the person because of an idea. Number two is, you can't convince someone to do something. Say you learn on a video, I don't know, something that you're going to implement in your life, like taking a future self and living in the present now. I am an athlete. That's what you say in your mind. I'm now a billionaire. I'm now a millionaire. And obviously there's the law of attraction, which, it's law of attraction is all right. But to be honest, the thing is, people visualize and they incant and they say all these things. But the thing is, they don't take action. Action is part of it. So people ask me all the time, what are your failures? I'm like, I fail all the time. I fail like weekly. But it's small failures, and I don't even look at it as a failure. I'm like, okay, that just didn't work out. That's it. Like, I'll go to the gym, and I'll go to a class, say yoga. Like, I went, first date, this girl's like, let's do hot yoga. I'm like, okay, cool. I wasn't really that was a total misconception. I was like, what? Excuse me, huh? We're gonna do what? So I ended up doing it because she was cute and everything else. And I did it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just never gonna do that again in the foreseeable future. It just wasn't me. It wasn't like it was a failure, and that's the way it should be with business calls, approaching a girl, trying something new, a business, nothing political, but people rip on Donald Trump for his bankruptcies. Like, okay, you could have whatever opinion on it, but do you understand how many people have went bankrupt? Abe Lincoln, the amount of failures, like epic failures that he had in his life before he became successful. What's his name that started KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders. He started at age 65. 65. Read his story. Unbelievable. All right? So, number one is, if you disagree with something someone says, don't dismiss the person, and don't judge the person. Like, someone will bring up, say, saving, or here you go, here's a good example. Some people believe that you should borrow money to start a business. Other people should say that you should have all the money and don't give out equity and start your business and blah, blah, blah. It's a matter of opinion. And it's how that person did what they needed to do. Some people borrowed, some people didn't. Some people needed VC money, some people didn't. Number three is you have to question everything. This is one of the most important topics. I'm almost going to make an entire video on this, is that you have to question everything. I grew up Roman Catholic Republican. I am neither of those now. I believe I shouldn't say that I'm neither, because I've taken, things from, I'm not not moral, and I'm not not ethical, and I'm not an atheist. And I'm not I believe that on the liberal side, everything should be taken out that is socially accepting. In other words, you should do, I don't care who gets married. In other words, I'm JFK. JFK, he was socially liberal, financially conservative. In other words, he didn't spend too much money, but he allowed everyone to do whatever they want. And that's me. It's like, don't overspend, and you can do whatever the fuck you want in the world. I don't really care. And there's no party called that. There's nothing really. And to be honest, I haven't voted since 2008, and I don't even know if I voted then. So, and don't fucking yell at me or judge for that, because that's one of the things that I have the right, but not the necessity to do it. All right? So don't yell at me. I don't follow politics. I don't care about politics. The news, I don't follow the news. It's one of those decisions that I have made that you have not made. You've made a decision to maybe play video games and I don't. Or follow the news or politics, or you're really into it. That's awesome. I have decided not to do that. I questioned the politicians and they're not on our side. So I said, okay, cool. That's how things are. That's how things are. I am not going to put in the resources and the time to do that. It's the same thing with, say, Christianity. Myself, I don't want to get into the God topic or the religion topic, but it's one of those things that I don't judge someone for if they are a Democrat or a Republican, they're an atheist, they're agnostic, they're Catholic, they're Jewish. I don't judge them. That's the other thing, is that I questioned it, everything, and I've taken a lot of things out of it. And that's why this is the biggest thing, is when you can argue someone else's point. I forgot who said this. It was maybe or some brilliant negotiator. He said when he goes into negotiations, I think he was an attorney, when he goes into negotiations, he knows both sides equally as well. Why? Because when someone says the Republicans are this or the Democrats are this, or you should take VC money or you should not take VC money, or milk is bad for you, or you should have dairy, or saturated fat, not saturated fat, whatever argument you want to have, make sales calls, don't make sales calls, wake up early, don't wake up early, sleep's important, whatever the discussion is, because it's never an argument, it's always an opinion. Someone has an opinion, and that's their belief. You can't change their belief by arguing it out of them. I can tell you that. And I know that beyond, because I negotiate daily. And I can't tell someone that an apartment is worth a certain price. I can give them as much value towards that, and they have to make the decision on their own. I can't, and which is how to win friends and influence people. That's the basics to that. I can't tell someone to do something. I can't. I can ask questions. So here's an example, and I'll go back to the other topic about questioning. So I can argue both sides on why there's a God and why there's not a God. I can argue why being a Democrat is really good and being a Republican is really good. I can argue both sides very well, where I can convince you. And that's what I mean, is that it's really taking pieces, questioning the beliefs that were instilled in you, where men are bad, women are bad, banks are evil, the wealthy, the 1%, they're all evil, they're all bad. Or I had the opposite, which wealthy people are good. And I trust me, I did not grow up. It wasn't that wealthy people are good. My dad didn't really like wealthy people. But my mom just said they worked hard for it. And then other people have beliefs where, like my dad said, you know, he's like, they had to have gotten there through corruption or swindling. That was his belief. So I then questioned it all. And I said, is it hard work? Is it corruption? And it's a mixture. It's a mixture. You can't just blanket say the 1% and say it was all corruption, because you have people like, I'm not even going to say a name because then someone's going to say, well, they actually got there through blah, blah, blah. A lot of people got through corruption. A lot of people got through hard work, through giving back. And it's amazing how easy it is to accept a belief and not question your belief. And that's the biggest thing with self-development. And that's why it's never going to be popular. It's never going to be popular because you have to question your beliefs. And that's why I love it. And that's why I'm confident in what I believe. Because I looked at all sides. Say, starting a company. It's like, should I take money on? Someone wanted to invest in me, and I'm like, should I give out equity? Should I not give out equity? Should I shareholders? Should I hire too fast? Should I not hire too fast? With health was massive. I questioned everything because my mom, the reason being is that it's not that your parents are wrong. It's just that things are different now. Things are completely different. The way cows are raised, the way that meat is produced. It's not like they're running open. Not all cows are just running open free and happy and excited. Yay, we're happy. Now it's, let's pump them with hormones, milk them so they're always pregnant. Think of where milk comes from, you know, and think who milk is for. And it's nothing against milk. It's just, this is the research that I've done. Perfect example, I posted a video about drinking a gallon a day, and people are like, drinking a gallon a day is bad for you. Okay, cool. You know, like, I'm not going to convince you otherwise. You know, that's the belief. And the more you try and convince someone to do something, perfect example, Tony Robbins is going to be doing an event in San Jose coming up, and my sister lives in LA. It's close. I think it's close. It's probably, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. I'm just totally making that up. I have no idea how close it is. But I told my sister, I said, listen, you saw what it did when I first went to him in 2009 or 2010 or 2009, right around there. It might have been, yeah, 2009. You saw what it's done in my life. Like, I'm totally different. I look at my friends and I look at all the people I grew up with. They're losing their hair. They're not happy. They're just in the cog. And I'm not that. Charles, you're 31. You should get married. Why? I questioned it. I said, okay, maybe I should go down that path. But that's not me right now. That's the confidence that self-development gives you. And the multitude of other reasons that I've seen is that people will question you and they'll make fun of you. And it's not because they're making fun of you, it's because they're questioning themselves. You're going to the gym, you're starting to make money, you're starting to move up. Perfect example yesterday, like I said, a $1 million listing was filming. I'm in real estate, so I was there and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I'm going to be on it. I've been on it in the past, not a big deal. But it's one of those things that, people will be like, oh, you're going to go to that $1 million listing party? Kind of like digging at me. And back in the day, I would defend it. I'll be like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I met Ryan, I met Frederick, and I used to actually, ironically enough, I have some really funny stories with Luis. But one of the biggest things is people will dig at you because they question themselves. So I don't know what you got out of this video, but I'm back. I can't wait to do more. Have an awesome day. Subscribe to the video, share it, and I will talk to you guys later. Have an awesome day.